You're watching Louisiana First News this morning.
Welcome back. We are now entering the peak of hurricane season here in Louisiana. The season has been quiet so far for us, but of course, remember to not let your guard down. It's important to always stay prepared. Here to share more on a hurricane preparedness workshop taking place this evening is Laketa Smith, founder of the A Bella LaFemme Society. Welcome in this morning.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and of course, I enjoyed having you the other times you were here. Last time, if you all remember, she had her disaster kit showing all that you would need, not just for one person, but entire family for a few days if you had to evacuate for a storm.
Yes, absolutely. We think that it's so essential that people stay prepared and on guard for this active season. And thinking about, we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, August 29th. And so we know that the weather tends to shift when we're in the peak. And so making sure that you are properly prepared. You can come out and join us tonight at 6 p.m. and learn how to do a disaster preparedness actual plan for your family, for your job, for yourself if you are an individual that lives alone, and also community building. We need to get back to the sense of community so that we can all help each other in our neighborhoods when something happens, or if something happens.
And then, of course, like you just said, we're coming up on the 20th anniversary, and every time I think about it, it's like hard to believe, like, where have the last 20 years gone? But it's like, that was a big eye opener for so many people. Like, I definitely cannot stay for the next one. A lot of people are still suffering with PTSD, decades later, because some people have lost everything they own. They've lost loved ones, and other people, of course, just didn't have the means to get out. So that's how they ended up suffering loss.
It was very tragic, and it was my 24th birthday. So I have carried Katrina for 20 years. I'm originally from New Orleans. And so when we think about disaster preparedness, it is my passion and my heart to make sure that people do not experience another Hurricane Katrina, because we cannot have that. And so we also have a statewide survey that we are pushing that is live right now that Louisiana residents can actually take, so we can kind of gauge and see where they are. And also it helps us with our advocacy as we think about changing laws around protecting our constituents and our citizens for disasters and what happens after disasters and recovery.
And those are all important things to do because, again, you have to make sure you're keeping up with the demographics, how they're changing. There are still so many people in New Orleans who are living in poverty. If something were to happen today, they may not even have $5 to go to the dollar store to at least get a flashlight and some batteries and maybe just a can of food that they can try to heat up some kind of way. So it's important, again, to know how to reach your audience and make sure they're able to reach you as well. So for those who are able to attend tonight or interested in attending, what will they be going over?
So we'll be preparing plans. We'll be looking at everything, the financial forecast of your family, what you can and cannot do. Sometimes you may not be able to go to the store or go to Lowe's and do a complete kit all at one time, but also understanding your budget and what you're able to do, if it's week at a time where you're getting 3 or 4 items, but also what are those items at home that are very significant to you, that you have right there. What can be a resource inside of your home before going out and purchasing, and seeing if you already have those items. And so we have a whole list. We have a mini checklist as well that we go over with people. And then we also bring families in to think about your most vulnerable people that are in your community. You may have a neighbor that lives alone, or you may have pets. And so making those special arrangements and also thinking about it before you're in the heat of having to respond to what may be a crisis. So, and we all know that we could think more clearly when we are more calm. So coming together in community to make sure that we have a plan so that we can be more secure and sleep at night. If we have to jump up and leave or even shelter in place, that we have those items and tools right there that is handy for us to utilize. So that's why.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that wonderful information. And just quickly before we wrap up, so Hurricane Preparedness Community Workshop is happening where tonight?
So it is happening at the Baker Municipal Building, and that is 3325 Groom Rd at 6 p.m. And we're going to have food, we're going to be having fellowship and also resources, and then we're going to be able to connect. And if you cannot make it on tonight, you can always email us. You can find us on social media and reach out, and we'll do a special training for you and your family if that is needed.
Okay, and I like that. Again, meeting the people where they are. So we will have all this information about this Hurricane Preparedness Community Workshop happening tonight, posted on our Louisiana First News website. Thanks
Thank
again.
you. Thank you so much.